Hey, RetconRaider here. Today's video is dedicated to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, with special thanks to Revenant, Alois, Anerdinwarpaint, Antonio Hernandez, Dragon Matrix 7, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, Kazorm, Lima, Nathan Welch Jr., Tomasz Piątkowski, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. As we leave the relative safety of the Defender's Heart behind, and see what havoc Dascari and his minions hath wrought upon the streets of Kenabres. Now, we do have a fair amount of adventuring ahead of us, and I've more or less mapped out exactly how we're going to tackle all this content. Today, for example, we'll be heading south. We're going to see if we can knock out the Tower of Estrod, and then next time we'll hit the marketplace, and the time after that we'll hopefully knock over the Black Library. That is, of course, assuming everything goes perfectly, which is certainly not guaranteed. Oh, and I should also note that when I doled out our promo gear last time round, I missed one item. I missed these goggles. Aside from looking ridiculous, those things grant a +2 damage bonus against swarm-type enemies. But those things will still wreck us at our current level, so, you know. Anyway, let's get to it. Adventure awaits. Oh, Adventure got tired of waiting. That's fine. We could certainly use a warm-up. Huh, Bard. Bard with a long spear. Interesting. Also, rude. Oh, yes, I also did buy that Dagger of Attrition from Joran. 7,000 gold well spent. There we go. I feel sufficiently warmed up. Though that might just be all the blood gushing from my recent sword wound. No, I still feel pretty warmed up. Alright, let's keep pushing towards the Tower of Estrod. We have to keep a close eye on our fatigue. Once we start getting worn out, we'll have to seriously consider resting. We're also going to swing by that tailor shop real quick. No, let's stick with the plan. Right after we deal with this.
Can we retreat already?
Guys, I think you may have made a slight misstep with your ambush here. Let me get this set up real quick. Alright, now I can stab you.
You crossed the wrong mongrel.
Oh, the ambush is not yet over. Who else do we have? Oh, an alchemist. Nice. We're seeing a much more varied assortment of marauders this time out. So I'm thinking you might want to stay down. But, you know, you do you. We'll see how it turns out. Yeah. 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 Oh, killed him so hard we can't loot his body. That's fine, though. We'll just grab it on our way out. Yep. We'll take that. Silken Thread Atelier. A drab and barely readable sign hangs over this cramped place, with unfriendly, brusque workers. The building was always crowded with people, but none of the neighbors can recall ever coming here to have so much as a button sewn back on. Yeah, I can see how that might eventually rouse some suspicion. Alright. I think it's fair to assume we're walking into a fight, so let's set up some very basic buffs. We don't have a whole lot to work with right now anyway. Plus, we want to save all the big stuff for when we get to the tower. Bless for the +1 to hit.
Are we in trouble yet?
And let's say Acid Maw. That should be enough. Ooh, interesting.
Who, me?
Waljif's got bracers of armor +2, so that mage armor is of slightly more use on Kaz. I wish it would tell you what kind of trap you found. Hey, look at that. I mean, in this case, I'm assuming it was an alarm trap to let those guys know we're coming. Oop. Hi there. I am the answer, but what is the question? Is it that one? The one you just asked? Well, let's kill some people. Vex isn't really one for riddling, unless it's with arrows.
Meditate on your mistakes. Might make you feel better. Yet another obstacle.
Cast her down. We're off to a good start. Oh, nice. Wait. Oh, I see. Apparently that barbarian had a fighter stuck inside him. A very peculiar medical condition which we have now resolved for him. No need to thank us. You should be fine. Oh, my. Kaz. Wow, Vex too. Nice. Looks like those teamwork feats are already paying off.
Cover me, all right?
Thanks, Lan. And it is done. That was a nice, clean victory. I could certainly get used to that. Let's see what awaits us in this little shop of horrors. Ah, I see. Best not get any closer. We'll strike from here.
Save the last one for me.
Oh. Curvel the Sparkling Fist. Well, that is quite a name. Chaotic Evil Tiefling. Level 5 Kineticist. That's a problem. I do find it interesting that they now just give you the enemy's full stat block. You used to have to discover it over time. On the one hand, it does take away some of the mystery, but at the same time, it also adds a lot of user-friendliness to it, which I do appreciate. Not to mention the whole learn by slaying thing was largely pointless when it came to unique enemies like this one, because you could only kill them once. And once you did, anything you learned about them afterwards was moot. It's not like you were going to fight them again. We need to get in that guy's face. Pardon me, coming through. Thank you.
I'll cut you wide open.
Oh, nice hit. Excellent. He spent his action drawing his sword. That's what we were going for.
You won't survive me.
Excuse me? Stop that. Oh my goodness.
The spirits demand your blood.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
You are today's sacrifice.
That's right. Sit down. On the nature of the divine. One more book for the pile. Oh, right, and we still don't have arcane lore, so we'll have to get that stuff ID'd later. Well, that, at least, has a +1 bonus. So that's an immediate upgrade for Vex. And a slight downgrade for Cam. Let's see what else we've got in here. Ingredients. More ingredients. Nothing. And food. Not too shabby. Still in pretty good shape, too. That bodes well for our impending trip to the tower. Oh, just real quick. These odd unlabeled locations are essentially skill challenges, with crafting ingredients as rewards for passing. The difficulties are set at 25 though, so we're going to hold off on those until right before we finish Act 1. We should be about level 5 by then, so that should hopefully eke out some extra ingredients. Alright, let's set our sights on the main attraction, the Tower of Estrod, and the treasures that lie within. The Tower of Estrod. This fortified tower of gray stone has long served as the city's museum, archive, and research center. Its upper floors have been completely destroyed during the demonic invasion, and a squat stump surrounded by heaps of debris is all that's left of this once dignified building. Kenabres burns, the city that should never have fallen. Fate shows no mercy. Clouds may veil the stars, but nothing can hide the light in someone's soul. And I see this light in you. We will stand shoulder to shoulder with you against evil. I hear the echo of a familiar voice. I feel the warmth of my kindred flame. My brother, we will help you. Ma'am, your hair is out of control. Thanks, I guess. Oh, I see. Angelic aspect. That's, I believe that's a 4th or 5th level cleric spell. I'll have to look it up later and slap the details on screen, but I think it's mostly defensive. A World Long Gone. A thematic collection of various artists' works on everyday life in Sarkaris before the opening of the World Wound. More details in the Museum Almanac. I do like that they actually have custom images here now. Back in the beta, it was all placeholders. Though it is unfortunately difficult to actually see some. Seat of Grief. A view of the infamous Heaven's Edge estate. This is the place where most of Mendevian aristocratic society at once fell prey to a supernatural plague unleashed by the demons. Among the Cloudy Colossi. In this picture, the two angels, Targona and Lariel, are chasing and fighting a deadly Vrolokite demon in the air, several miles above the World Wound. More details in the Museum Almanac. Oh, okay, so that must have been a vision of Targona. Oh, right, it says it right there. That cast angelic aspect on us. So she must have detected the energy of Lariel's sword which we recovered in the tunnels below. Here we stand, and will not take a step back. The hand of the Inheritor, Herald of Diomede, is depicted placing the first ward stone among the fortifications of Kenabres. Alright, I think we're getting the idea here. Crusader Queen, a copy of the famous embossed bas-relief originally created by Master Derek Sunhammer. Young Queen Galfrey is portrayed personally, leading her crusaders into battle on the 1st of Abadius, 4624, during the First Crusade. But no vision of Galfrey. That one's Yaniel, and this one's Eliandra. Who's Eliandra? Farewell to Sarkaris. Eliandra, the legendary priestess of Pelura, watches the City of Eyes crumble into the freshly opened world wound. Oh, okay. Yeah, that does make sense. We just talked about how old Sarkaris used to worship Pelura, but now it's frowned on by the modern Crusaders of Diomede. Yaniel by a fountain. The picture was presumably painted from life over the summer of 4637, 1 year before Yaniel's heroic death during the battle for Dresden. Which would make that a vision of radiance as well. None will escape my all-seeing eye. Inquisitor Hulrin fights a shadow demon that he exorcised from a soldier's body. Whoever you are, keep quiet. There's a horde of enemies just beyond this door. Come over here and you'll see. There's a handy way up nearby. Be quiet and watch. This is the best part. Get it together, you idiots! No more looting! You're all to sit tight here and wait for the order to attack the Defender's Heart. It's the last bastion of the Crusader resistance. We'll flatten them and claim our victory. Into the abyss with all the Crusaders and the Defender's Heart. Kylus, the city is ours already. Now it's time to enjoy the spoils. Split up into groups, quickly. I'll tell you where to go and what to bring back. Faxon, you idiot. Go back to Baphomet. He must be missing his lapdog. Everyone here will be following my orders. I'm in charge. We won't submit to you, you dirty Descarite. Keep out of this, Kylus, or I'll curse all your extremities to wither and drop off. Everyone, listen to me. What we're going to do is... Looking for a fight, Faxon? Well, you've got one. Had enough, worm. I'm in charge here. Kylus is the strongest. No looting, only slaughter. We're going to sit here and wait for the command to attack. The Defender's Heart will fall.
I'd stay away from there right now. The tower is the main stronghold of the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth and their allies. Going up against that many of them would be suicide. I have a better idea.
Oh, right. The grim-faced dwarf with a thick head of black hair holds a finger to his lips. He points at the enemies, whispering.
If the demons and their mortal agents were better organized, the Crusaders would have been crushed long before now. But they're always trying to spread in every direction. Right now, in every corner of the city, there are demons like Kylus who are trying to consolidate their forces to launch a joint attack on the Defender's Heart.
Cool, that's good to know. And who are you?
Greybor. I'm a contract killer who's been hired to kill that demon that just walloped that other one. I've tracked him all the way here, and was planning to kill him when that crowd showed up, so I had to pull back.
What a coincidence. We're here to kill that guy too. And everyone else with him.
Don't even think about trying to take them all on single-handed. You'll be mincemeat. Better to warn the Crusaders in the Defender's Heart that the demons are planning to attack. And later, once the attackers have been taken care of, it'll be much easier to sweep through this tower and eliminate the defenders left behind.
Like when dueling with rapiers. One doesn't lunge, but waits for the opponent to strike and leave themselves open.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Greyboar's eyebrows shoot up, as though he wasn't expecting to hear such words from the delicate young lady. He nods anyway.
Or like in cards, wait for your opponent to play his hand, and then dive under the table, grab the pot, and run.
Yeah, that... I guess that is a somewhat reasonable analogy. So you really think I can't take these guys out? Ha! We've faced tougher odds than this. Right, Kaz? The dwarf arches his eyebrow skeptically, but doesn't comment on your bravado. So you're a contract killer too, huh? Who are you working for?
I'm afraid that's confidential. As a professional, I'm obliged to keep my client's name a secret.
Oh, right, yeah, totally, me too. I am not working for Irabeth or Roguespierre. I've never even heard of them. You know, we're both here. We could take these guys on together.
I have no desire to die today. If you choose to go in there, I'll take advantage of the opportunity, of course. I'll kill Kylus and get back here as quickly as I can. I'm not going to fight any of the others. I don't work for free.
The city is burning. People are dying. And you're thinking about how to fill your pockets?
Yes. So what? Listen here, girl. If you're so eager to save someone, go and do it. And don't waste your breath preaching at me.
I like you, Greyboar. Well, it has been real, but I'm gonna go kill these guys. Feel free to jump in whenever. Or don't. Whatever.
I hope you act wisely.
Well, you know, wisely is a relative term. In my eyes, I'm acting very wisely. I have a wisdom of 16, I'll have you know. I think. Alright, how are we going to do this? Let's head this way. Yeah, we'll hop up top here and engage from the balcony once we're sure it's clear. That way they'll have to waste their first couple of turns coming up those stairs at us. And apparently we can also push this pillar down on them. That should do some damage. Oh. Interesting. It is a shame that enemies can't set off traps. Otherwise I'd try to use that to our advantage. At any rate, we're still in for a tough fight here, so let's see if we can do something to even the odds a bit. Yeah, let's go ahead and make Seal a giant. She'll be less accurate, but she'll have a heck of a lot more damage potential. Lan, stop punching Waljiff. That's childish. Let's get you over here. You know what? Let's burn some consumables. We'll make Lan giant as well. Crank that bow damage up to 2d6. We should also get shields up on Waljiff. All right. I think we're in pretty good shape here. Let's do this. Ah, it seems we have visitors. Crusader! Ah! Nicely done, Greybor. Though I see you decided against sticking around. That's fine. More fun for us. Hello. You know what? I think I just remembered that Angelic Aspect lets us bypass a demon's damage resistance. Oh, there's Greybor. Moving every segment. Cheater. Oh, crap, that's a fireball. Faxon? What, did you just decide not to throw the fireball? You know what? I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to kill you before you change your mind.
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
The light. Take you.
I think he just blocked off Faxon. Out of the way. Okay, so now we're not bypassing their DR. That's disappointing.
Go for their hearts! I'll cut you wide open. The spirits demand your blood.
Faxon's down. And I think the Deskerites are broken.
No glory without risk.
Ooh. I almost feel bad for these guys. Yeah, I guess we should probably head down there.
You are today's sacrifice!
Excusing?
Distract them from me.
Okay, let's start heading down the stairs, see if that breaks them out of their stupor. Ah, yeah, there we go. Apparently, Waljif set his dagger on liquefy. Well, that was easy. A shame Greybor didn't stick around to actually see it. Oh, good. Lightning. Let's get downstairs before one of those actually hits us. So that's definitely a +1 bonus. That will go to Vex. For now. Cam will just have to hold out for a while longer. Actually, you know what? Give me a sec. I'm just going to do all these skill challenges real quick. We got to take our XP where we can get it. Oh, look at that. Even the rain was impressed by our acrobatic prowess. All right, thusly rewarded for our frivolous efforts, we will descend into the unknown. That's interesting. A pale and frightened half-elf looks at you warily. His face is twisted into a grimace, like he just ate something slimy. Hey, who are you? Praise Baphomet. What are you doing here? Did Faxon send you? I heard a noise outside, but I was busy making a list of the relics. Did something happen? Yeah, don't worry about that. That's just a lightning storm. Who are you? I'm Talmer, the scribe and senior aide to Lord Xanthir the Plagued One. And do forgive me, but Faxon has been assigned to this command, has he not? Where is he? Oh, you know, he's mostly outside. So what are you up to? I'm compiling a list of the valuable Crusader artifacts. Lord Xanthir has ordered that everything of value should be transported from Kenabres and saved from the looting and destruction. We chose the museum as the place to collect and sort through the trophies. Unfortunately, the local thieves have proved even quicker off the mark than the demons. They ransacked the museum in the first few hours of the assault. But there are some objects of interest among the exhibits they left behind. The museum custodian has been kind enough to advise me on those. But where is Faxon? Waljif snickers. Ha! Finest thieves in Mendev. Turn your back and everything that isn't nailed to the floor will be gone when you turn around again. The demons have no chance against them. Masters of our trade, we are. There you go bragging again, dummy. Thieving has never led to anything but harm, trust me. If you fought the way you thieve, now that might be useful. No thanks. Every person has their calling, and this is mine. But imagine if you fought as well as you thieve. Thanks, guys. Telmer, where's the museum custodian? Over in the gallery. I deceived him. I told him I was a crusader. It wasn't difficult. The old geezer is out of his mind. So, tell me, where is Faxon? Yeah, about that. He tragically passed away of a terminal case of stabitis. You might want to get out of here. I hear it's very contagious. The half-elf pitches forward, but then grabs his bag and leaps away from you. You're lying. You want me to turn away so you can strike me in the back and take the papers that have been entrusted to me. The half-elf leaps back nimbly, pulling a sheaf of papers from his bag as he goes. No. I have valuable letters from Lord Xanthir here. I must destroy them. The cultist balls the pages up in his fist and shoves them into his mouth, then begins furiously chewing like a hamster. Of the miniature space variety, no doubt. A moment later, the half-elf's eyes bulge, and he opens his mouth, which is stuffed with masticated paper. He tries to cough, but nothing comes out. The failed saboteur looks at you in desperation. His eyes are streaming, his face is growing paler by the second, and he falls to his knees. A strangled wheeze emerges from behind the wad of wet paper. His expressions veer from hilarious to the grotesque as he signals to you for help. Want some salt or paper with that? Now, I've never tried eating paper myself, but a little seasoning goes a long way, whatever the meal. Alright, well, you know, on the one hand, this guy's a cultist, but he seems pretty harmless. And, it's not really funny to watch what is effectively a cultist intern choke to death. I don't care if those pages contain the innermost secrets of Baphomet himself. I am not touching that. The cultist coughs violently, and then, after taking a trembling breath, leaps up and takes off running. He disappears, leaving you with a wad of correspondence that is much the worse for wear. You're welcome. Alright, let's have a look at this letter. Masticated letter. A wad of crumpled pieces of paper with visible bite marks and traces of saliva. The writing is blurred and indistinct. Most of the words are completely illegible, but some fragments are still intact. Carefully pack up all the relics and valuable magic items, and hand them over to the same courier that brought you my potions. Later, I may carve out some time away from my scientific research to sift through the detritus you managed to steal from the Crusaders. I might as well not bother, since your finds will almost certainly be of no use to me, unless I find myself in dire need of a paperweight. Still, this mission keeps you occupied and gives me an invaluable opportunity to work without you sticking your nose in my experiments. I once again remind you that it is absolutely essential to store the potions in a safe place, sealed with a corresponding protective rune. Should these safety measures not be taken, the demons will drink all of your stash dry in no time at all, and your master will order me to spend 3 more days at the cauldron, making a new batch. Believe it or not, I have many other important matters to attend to. Should I discover that the potions have mysteriously disappeared, I will not try to look for the culprit. I will punish the person who let it happen, the person who failed to secure them properly. The punishment will be painful, brutal, and utterly inhumane. Remember this. Good luck with conquering whatever you're conquering out there. Xanthir Vang. Well, it sounds like Telmer may have slightly oversold his value to his much-vaunted master. Oh, and, I guess that would be our stash of potions. That was easy. Nothing all that great, but that does offset the potion we burned getting in here. Plus, as an added bonus, we now have Telmer floating around out in the wild somewhere. Who knows what that wacky intern will get himself up to. Almanac of the Tower of Estrod. Well, that does sound interesting. Also, it's like 5 pages long, so you know what? We'll just set that aside for now. In fact, that might actually be enough books to justify that special mini-episode. This copper vessel and the oil inside it were sanctified by Raelis, priest of Iomedae and faithful crusader. This item was donated to the museum by Raelis' fellows in arms. More details in the museum almanac. This is a claw taken from Tyrendelev, the silver dragon and protector of Kenabres. It was cut off by demons when Tyrendelev heroically saved a group of ambushed crusaders from certain death. This item was donated to the museum by the Town Hall of Kenabres. The wand of the famous mage, Zacharias, who made his name during the heroic and tragic siege of the Lost Chapel. This item was donated to the museum by Zacharias' apprentice, Mage Teldin. Oh, and, okay, Teldin is the addled curator. We can see him muttering to himself in the feed. This helmet belonged to Bathistus Scrocia, Paralictor of the Order of the Gate, and one of the first Hell Knights to serve his duty as a Crusader. This item was donated to the museum by Queen Galfrey. Neat, but none of that actually helps us because it's all gone.
I am helpful, am I not?
Yeah, you're great. Sarkorian Faith, which talks about Pelura in Ancient Sarkarus. Yet another book for the pile. Oh, here we go. A magic but unidentified chain shirt. Well, it's definitely +2. And it also looks to be made of mithril, because the weight is half what it would normally be. Ooh, I like the way that looks. Let's see what else we've got here.
I hope you appreciate this.
Can't hide from me.
Oh my, okay.
You can trust me. I am helpful, am I not? I am helpful, am I not?
I have got to say, Cam, the more you say things like that, the less trustworthy I actually find you. Nothing notable so far. Oh, here we go. So that is definitely a +1 Kukri. Possibly with more abilities, but we'll have to get it ID'd to be sure. And since we just picked up Weapon Focus Kukri, that should be an across-the-board upgrade for us. Yeah, small but notable bumps. It all adds up. A book on Yaniel. And a magic composite longbow. Fantastic. That makes for what? 4 solid upgrades? The armor, the buckler, the kukri, the bow. 5 if we count the studded leather from the tailor shop. Not bad for an hour's work. I remember this exhibit. It was donated to the museum 21 years ago. The old man, looking around absent-mindedly, shrinks away as you get closer. His head seems to shake uncontrollably, but his hands are surprisingly deft and assured as he levels a magic wand at you. Stay back! Which are you? Robber or demon? Hey, take it easy, Gramps. So that's the way it is, eh? You see horns and you think thief or demon? Quit scaring the old man, dummy. Have you seen your horns? How should I put this? Don't exactly inspire trust in a city that's currently overrun with demons. Hey, there are horns, and then there are horns. You guys done? Okay. I don't think Vex would be the sort to just let someone point a weapon at him. Hey, old man, lose the wand or I'll take it from you. The old man goggles at you in terror, but he doesn't lower his wand. A rustling sound comes from somewhere behind him. Rats. The old man wheels around fearfully and peers in the direction the sound came from. The hand holding the wand gradually falls to his side. When he turns back to you, there's no fear in his expression, only vague confusion. I'm sorry, I was distracted. What were we talking about? Oh, well now I kind of feel bad. You were just introducing yourself. You're the custodian, right? The old man lowers his wand in confusion. I think... His expression grows distraught and mournful, as though he is on the verge of crying. I forget. His gaze falls on a piece of cloth carefully stitched to his cloak, which reads, Teldin, Tower of Estrod Museum Custodian. Aha! I am Teldin, the custodian here. My memory isn't what it once was. My faculties are failing me. But at one time, my mind could cut like a diamond. I was a battle mage, one of the few who survived the Battle of the Lost Chapel. But I'm an old man now. Sometimes I set down my keys one moment, and the next I can't remember where I put them. With a pleased smile, the old man pulls a hefty set of keys from his pocket and proudly shows them to you. Here they are, my keys, my little lovelies. I would never give you away to anyone. Remembering himself, the old man hastily stows the keys back in his pocket. Hey, Teldin, what are those keys for? Oh, these keys are for everything. I can open every door in the Tower of Estrod with these. The museum custodian on duty must carry these keys at all times and never be parted from them, not even for a second. And why is that? Because if the keys were left unattended, they would be pinched by thieves, wouldn't they? Thieves who'd strip the museum of all its treasures. Sure. What are y'all looking at me for? Woljif exclaims indignantly, even though no one is looking at him. You know what, you can keep those. I think it's pretty obvious we don't need them. And I wouldn't want to take the old man's security blanket. The old man affectionately pats the pocket containing the bunch of keys. Look, don't take this the wrong way, but, this place has been overrun by demons. How are you still alive? The museum custodian looks at you in stark surprise. Demons? There have been no demons in this museum. I heard them breaking into the tower, but then everything went quiet. Then a very polite young fellow came along, a half-elf. He said Kenabres was under attack, but that the Crusaders had already recaptured the tower. He said he'd been sent to oversee the evacuation of the museum. He was very pleased to find me here. I proved a very useful resource. I showed him all the most valuable relics, explained what they were, and he wrapped them up, labeled them, and carried them off somewhere. Oh, Teldin, no. And I've been here all this time. I locked the door and stood guard to make sure no demon got in. But I've not seen a one of them. Haven't heard any either. Though I have grown hard of hearing over the years. Teldin, the half-elf was a cultist. The old man frowns in confusion. What do you mean, demon worshipper? That fine young lad, so well-dressed, so polite, but he said the Crusaders. Oh, my word! The relics! We must go after them! The old man works himself into a state, bitterly lamenting as he roots through his many pockets. But the outburst doesn't last long. The motion of his hand slows and the awareness fades from his eyes. He stares off into the distance and then looks at you, wets his lips, and sheepishly inquires. Sorry, did you say something? Why don't you just tell me what happened here? What do you remember? The old man burst into agitated muttering, gesticulating furiously with shaking hands. First, the bell started ringing, and then there were noises on the street. Then the dragon, Lady Tyrendelev, began to roar. I went to lock the door, but they were already inside. The thieves. There were 7 of them, or perhaps 10. I don't remember. They were talking some rubbish about how they were all orphans, supposedly, and that they were dangerous. They grabbed me and wouldn't let me go, and then they looted the place. They took anything with even a lick of gold on it. Relics, too. The museum boasts a very extensive collection, you know. And worst of all, they took the wand. And when they were done, they tossed me aside like a piece of old junk. They didn't even bother to kill me. The museum custodian looks at you with affront and anguish in his eyes. The wand of Zacharias? Yes, the wand of Zacharias, my master. He was a great man, the hero of the defense of the Lost Chapel. And those scoundrels took his wand, a relic. Ballads are sung about Zacharias, and they're just damned thieves. Master Zacharias will return, and he will assemble all of us, his students. And we'll show them. I'll show them what Battle Mage Teldin is made of. Fury sparks in the old man's eyes, his spine straightens, and in a fluid motion his hands raise his wand at the ready. But a howl of rage from outside frightens off the ghosts of the past. The old man turns around and looks at you in befuddlement. You were just asking me something. I forget what it was. It's fine, Teldin. You were just telling me about your old master, Zacharias? The old man turns misty-eyed. A great hero he was. Fearless but insightful. He never underestimated the strength of the demons. When they laid siege to the Lost Chapel, it was Zacharias who stood in the breach to rescue the clerics. He understood that we couldn't hold out, but he refused to retreat. He had vowed to defend the temple. Before the final onslaught, he gathered up his surviving apprentices, looked us over, and picked me. He said, Teldin, today I will die, and leave my comrades behind. Take my wand and bring it to Kenabres. Should an hour of great need come, a worthy crusader can take the wand and bring it to me. I will know that my brothers need me once more, and I will come to their aid. Not even death shall stop me. And so I brought his wand and his final words here. I also brought something else here. This is why I am the way I am. The old man pokes a finger at his bald head. Fear consumed my mind. It shattered my reason. I was so desperate to forget that terrible day that my memory slowly but surely fled my wretched head. Teldin, are you all right? The poor old man smiles piteously and makes a helpless gesture. Old age, my young friend. Old age and the poison of fear seeping into my mind. Both have turned me from a crusader and battle mage into the sorry specimen you see before you. This museum is all I have. Whenever I forget who and where I am, I just read the exhibit labels. They are of the past, just like me. And now some ruffians have ransacked this place. I'm frightened, my young friend. I'm very frightened. Why don't you tell me about some of the museum exhibits? The old man seems to come to life. It would take a lifetime to tell you all there is to know. But I'll take you on a tour of the highlights, some of my personal favorites. You should have a look yourself. You won't regret it. For instance, we have a painting here depicting angels fighting demons. Now, you may think it hard to believe, but in the First Crusades, many heavenly beings fought shoulder to shoulder with the Crusaders. And these two in the paintings are Targona and Lariel, the Silver Twins, as they were called. I actually met them, you know, when I was a young man studying under Master Zacharias. They had no airs or graces about them. They walked among the mortals. They spoke to us. They healed our wounds. Lady Targona I remember especially well. She had a special unearthly wisdom within her. The angel Lariel, on the other hand, was known for his daring, and the youngest Crusaders idolized him. I wonder where they are now, the twins. We don't have celestial beings in our ranks anymore. They all left some time during the Second Crusade, on a very important mission, they say. But I do love looking at this painting, and remembering those days when envoys of the heavens walked among us, and the light that seemed to shine from within them. The old man wipes his eyes. Oh, what was I saying? You must be a messenger, yes? Or are you a visitor? Why did those times end? Why do the Celestials not fight with us still? Heaven has not abandoned us, surely. Lariel and Targona are twins, right? I didn't know angels could have siblings. That's a good point. Of course, angels are not born like mortals, so they can't have a mother and father, or sisters and brothers as we understand them. Angels come into being from reincarnated souls, or from the pure essence of the upper planes. Sometimes angels may adopt some features of mortals. For instance, they can identify as male or female, although that is not generally their way. Some of them can also develop bonds of camaraderie, or even of kinship. But the case of the Silver Twins is rarer still. They are two angels who emerged from one soul. What else should they call themselves if not twins? Oh, okay. So that would definitely explain why the vision of Targona seemed to recognize us at the entrance. We're essentially carrying her brother's remains with us. The old man smiles, seemingly satisfied with his speech. But within moments, his vacant expression is back in place. All awareness gone from his eyes. Hey, Teldon. Why don't you head over to the tavern, the Defender's Heart? There are good people there. They can help you. The old custodian gives you a toothless smile. Really, it's safe there. But how can I leave the museum? His gaze falls upon the traces of the ransacking, and the old man becomes lost in thought, as though trying to find an explanation for what he is seeing. You know what happened here, don't you? Thieves they were, prowling about, wanted to rob the museum. But I stopped them. Those ne'er-do-wells came in here, and I gave them what for? A dose of battle magic. They won't be back. Don't you worry about me. I may be old, but I can still hold my own. Okay. I guess. But only because my only other option is to murder you. The old man's bewildered gaze follows you as you go. Alright, I'm just going to grab everything that's not nailed down and we're going to leave. This is bumming me out. Honestly, you'd think that in a setting like this one, with magic and miracles and everything, they'd have ways they could actually help someone with that kind of mental issue. I don't know. I guess if they just miracle cured everything, you wouldn't get much in the way of interesting characters or stories. There's not much character growth when there are no consequences. At any rate, I think we're at a pretty good break point here. Let's head back to the entrance and we'll hit the pause button. Greyboar? I don't suppose you're still out here somewhere. Nah, he's gotta be long gone. Just as well, I suppose. Oh, the translucent silhouette of a winged female warrior glows softly. You brought us back to waking. Greetings. Hey, Targona, right? No, I am but a memory. This place was created as a cradle of memory and fantasy. The things that belonged to the city's heroes were kept here. People used to come to this place to remember those heroes, and myself and the others are living memories. You woke us, so here we are. You're just memories? Of who? Of the heroes the city wished to immortalize. Go, touch a memory, see how they remembered us. After all, this place was created so that our names would never disappear into the mists of history. There used to be a place like this near Neathholm. Lan sighs. Quiet, calm. I used to walk among the plinths and pedestals wondering. The people who founded the place, what was driving them? Were they thinking about future generations, how to pass down their wisdom and show the right path? Or were they thinking of themselves, trying to keep their names and deeds alive? But then the ceiling collapsed and that place didn't exist anymore. So my question was moot. I wish I could say that we have not dishonored your memory. But Kenabres lies in ruins, and But you fearlessly battle the invaders with no thought for yourself. You have earned no censure. We are proud of you. Right. In the olden days, mortal kind lost to the demons time after time after time, and now their descendants are continuing their losing streak. How could they not be proud of that? Why did you help me? A soft smile appears on the woman's face. I sensed something in you, as if you are close to me somehow, like we stood shoulder to shoulder once in the face of evil, and that we must do so again. I sense that light dwells within you. Very recently you were threatened by a powerful demon, and dark bloodlust tried to enslave your soul. But you opposed it and held fast. Sure. Continue to follow the path of light, and other righteous souls will aid you and follow you. Cool. Hey, I should really get going. Bye. Farewell. The power that gives us this semblance of life is running out, and soon we will once again be but memories, living only in words, pictures, and songs. Goodbye, goodbye, I'm gone. Well, that almost got awkward. Anyway, I see the other memories are still chilling out. It is interesting to see that the reaction of the visions is apparently keyed not to how you interact with the Monago event, but with the Savamalek event. If we had corrupted the mongrel men, then these visions would have attacked us instead of helping us. I actually expected the opposite. I thought they would attack us because we had hulked out during the Wardstone confrontation. Very intriguing. This game does keep me guessing. Anyway, we accomplished pretty much everything we set out to do today. We knocked out that side location, we cleared the tower, which was a dicey proposition with just a 5-man party, and we found some pretty solid upgrades. We're also still in pretty good shape, so I think next time we're just going to head straight for the market, see if we can carve a path through there and then gun it for the Blackwing Library. That said, we're going to hit the pause button for now. I may see about rushing out a little mini-episode, just like 15 or 20 minutes of us running through those books that we've accrued thus far. But either way, we'll get back to adventuring soon enough. Kenabres certainly is not going to save itself. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official social media feeds, or the official store pages. And if you'd like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do those things, or maybe even check out the Patreon. Links are in the description.
I hope you act wisely.